hanging out with me. I'm my man Butch. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. So introduce yourself to everybody, man.
Butch Hartfield with Epic Records.
Epic Records. Now tell everybody some of the artists you represent over Epic.
Over at Epic, we got Future, Cash Out. We've got Marcus Canty from the X Factor, Melanie Amara from the X Factor. We've got Fresco, aka Fresh Cocaine. We've got
Cocaine. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's it. Be on the lookout for that.
Okay.
Okay. We got King L out of Chicago.
King L.
King Louis out of Chicago.
Heard that song a couple times.
Yeah, exactly. Val Venus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so we got a few things happening. Got Sierra coming.
Sierra joint. Sorry, I got that in the email. Now the amazing thing I want you to kind of tell people out there. A lot of people I know want to be rappers and that whole, in the front of the camera. How did you end up working behind the scenes and being a rep and everything that you do?
I started in radio, pretty much like yourself. I started in radio. I worked in radio for 6 or 7 years, and I meet the artists and the executives coming through the marketplace to promote their records. I thought, well, I think when I transition out of radio, this would be what I would want to do. I want to work closer with the artists, and I want to work closer with the music companies that create the artists.
Now, the amazing thing, we already talked earlier, so I kind of know his story already. But let everybody know some of the artists you work with. You work with some big artists that have made some historical moments in hip-hop. So tell everybody some of the artists you don't work with, man.
The MC Hammer. Ice Cube, NWA. Notorious B.I.G., Faith Evans, Puffy, P. Diddy, as he's known.
That is an amazing thing. Everybody said that nobody comes to the NC, North Carolina. My man from Epic is right here in NC. Now, this is for all my local unsigned artists. What steps would you give an unsigned artist to take to get signed to a major deal? Like, what steps would you tell them to take? Because I hear this all the time. What can I do?
I think you just develop yourself as an artist. I think sometimes it's kind of putting the cart ahead of the horse to say, what do I do to get a major label involved? Major label like artists. So I think the first question should be, am I an artist? Do I create something special in the marketplace? Do I have fans? Are there people who appreciate what I'm doing? If you don't get the people in your local area, if they don't appreciate you, what makes you think that a record label can make people appreciate you?
Sure.
So, that's the biggest thing. You get people going, what I got to do to get signed? I made a record, what I got to do to get signed? All you got to do is be an artist.
Be an artist.
Be an artist that people care about, and they'll spread the word for you. You start getting a bunch of hits on YouTube. You start selling a lot on iTunes, you start doing all of that, you're going to get the record company's attention. They're going to come looking for you.
Okay. So you build your fan base, build yourself as an artist, and then try to sell.
Exactly.
As a business. Now, you said something earlier, and I get this from artists all the time. Can you play my song on the radio? Can you play my song on the radio? We were talking about an artist a little while ago. You said we should have put this song out in the streets and let it bubble 6-7 months before we brought it to radio.
Right.
As far as an unsigned artist, is that the route they should take? Start that record in the street before they come dragging it to the radio?
I think you have to. I think you have to, and you have more avenues available to you now than you've ever had before. Even R&B artists, can get started on the internet and doing things virally and have, hundreds of thousands of hits out there before they come to the radio station. When they come in and they talk to the radio station, they should be like, hey, here's a couple of records I've had. This is how many views I have on YouTube. This is, if I did a mixtape, this is how many mixtapes I sold. This is what I sold on iTunes. This is, the radio station is not the first place you come when you make a record. It's the last place you come.
Last place you come. So it's not the first place you come. It's the last place you come.
Right.
And when I talk to artists, I always say all the time, when you come here, you're competing against a Jay-Z or a Beyonce or a Cash Out or a Future, and can you match what they're doing?
Right.
And that's what I really want a lot of artists to see, that you start that buzz in the streets and let it build. Now, how many years you been in the industry?
Ooh, man. 25 years.
25 years of experience right here. He said it. It wasn't just me. He said it, start that record in the streets. Now, Any artists out there right now that you think are going to be that next big artist? 25 years you've been in the business. Who is that next big artist? You know, Wayne is doing his thing, YMCMB. Who is that next artist to be that shit?
There's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot of good new artists out there. There's a ton. You know, I mean, you know, over here, Melanin Moore, Marcus Canty. You know, definitely expect big things out of there. You know, Future. You know, is a rock star. You know, Future he's out of here. You know, and I mean, I think everybody's starting to see that now. But a year ago, you know, a lot of people didn't know who he was. So you know, it's promising. There's a lot of good music. I think the focus is back on the music again. You don't hear as many gimmick records out there, but I think...
Explain the gimmick record, so unsigned artists know. What's a gimmick record?
The gimmick records that people were making 4 years ago, 5 years ago, where they just wanted that sound.
Give me an example. Give me an example.
I'm not going to give an example.
Come on, give me an example, man.
It's just those people that you heard about 4 or 5 years ago.
Franchise Boys, White Tees.
They had their really hot record, and then you never heard from them again.
Okay. One hit wonders, in other words.
Exactly. So, you know, I think... all of the new artists coming out seem to be putting a little bit more into that album.
Pluto is a great album, I can say.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And that's a prime example because, you know, especially with hip-hop, you took that knock that a lot of people said there aren't any more great hip-hop albums.
Right.
But I think when you listen to Pluto, you know, I mean, you know, of course, you know, Wayne's always done that. You know, and that's one of the things a lot of people probably overlook with his success is just how thorough his albums were. You know, that he was still putting out an album where most rappers were putting out singles.
Okay.
You know, I got three radio singles, I'm good. I got you know, when you could play the Wayne album all the way through and all the way back.
Right.
You know, now you look at the younger artists that's influenced like a Future, you know, who's a brand new artist who you would expect, give me that hot record I heard on the radio and that half a hot one that came behind it, and now you put your album out.
Right.
But with him, it's like
hit.
That's what an album is. It means you took time and you put together something with, you gave the people their money's worth. You know, you charging them for 12, 14, 16 records. Give them the 12, 14, 16 records. Give them the experience, a full album experience.
Okay. I'm going to pick your brain.
And they'll pay for it.
Okay, I'm going to pick your brain right now.
Right.
You manage an artist. How would you, and this is go for all the local artists, how would you promote that artist? Where would you start? Like, they got a mixtape. How would you start promoting them?
I mean, you know, it depends on where the artist is. If you're in school, you start at your school. You become the biggest artist at your school. If you're on the block,
is he burning CDs, passing out mixtapes? Is he
all of
pushing
that? All of that. You know, flyers, mixtape, talent shows, birthday parties.
Wherever you can do something.
Wherever you can do something there. Wherever you can be heard in front of people to get out there, and those people, they're going to critique you. They're going to tell you we like it, we hate it, we get it, we don't get it, this, that, and you refine it. And you get it. And that's the thing. You know, everybody wants to go in and do a record or album and then go, that's it.
Right.
You know, and this is it. Don't criticize it. Nobody wants to have an ugly baby. You can't tell nobody their baby ugly.
No, you said they precious.
They make the CD.
Right.
You can't tell me my CD's not hot.
Right.
You can't tell me because if you do, you hate.
Okay.
But that's not really what it is. Is that every great album, every great artist you can think of, they got albums sent back. I mean, the #1 selling album of all time.
The label is sending back to the artist.
Thriller.
Right.
You know, they sent it back. They sent it back. You know, Usher's big album, you know, it got sent back. You know, there's...
Explain what sent back mean, too, so people don't know.
Well, you know, you submit an album.
Right. Like Usher submitted his album to his label. You
submit an album, and they go, maybe this isn't an album. You know, maybe it needs to be changed a little bit. Maybe let's put something different on it. It's a refinement process. And I think constructive criticism and refinement is something that a lot of new artists don't understand.
Okay.
They think that if you send me 12 tracks and say this is my album, and I send it back to you and say work on it some more, that, you know, it's an insult.
Okay.
And, you know, it's not. It's a process. What you're doing is a process. And that's just like, you know, people that do multiple mixtapes or multiple records. You know, Tony Montana wasn't Future's first single that he ever did.
Right, true.
You know, there were singles before that. There were mixtapes before that. And through the refinement process, he got to that. Cashing Out was not his first single. But there was a refinement process to that. And what happens is a lot of people, a lot of new artists, they do these projects or they do these singles, and then they don't want to do the refinement process. No, this is my first single. I wanted to get right on at every club. I want every DJ to play it. I want the radio station to play it from day one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a smash. Mm-hmm. And guess what? It's probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Okay.
You know?
25 years in the industry. Obviously, record sales are down, period, but in black music, they're really down. Mm-hmm. What do you see as a solution as to getting black record sales back up or people buying albums again?
Do albums.
Do albums. So you think
you can't charge people for 14, 16 tracks and you're only really giving them 3.
So you think that word is out? I'm going to get 2 tracks. I'm not going to go out and buy that.
I think so. The quality of a lot of albums went down.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think, you give people 15, 16 tracks worth of material, they'll pay for it. You give them hit after hit after hit. You take them on a journey, an emotional experience with that artist, one way or the other, you'll do it. If you see the larger artists who really did albums, their album sales didn't go down a lot. You didn't see Jay-Z get hit as much.
Okay.
You didn't see Beyonce get hit as much.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see Keisha Cole get hit as much. People who have fans, their fans are going to buy their albums.
Cult followers.
Right,
They
exactly.
go out and buy the album.
Right.
Now, I'm going to ask you who you're, not on Epic Records, artists out there that you think are doing great things and are great artists that are not just on your label out there right now. Your top 3.
Wale. Future.
Can't be on your label though.
Oh, can't be on my label?
Can't be on your label.
Okay, Wale, Beyonce. Man, that's tough.
Can't get 3, we can get 2. Wale and Beyonce.
Wale and Beyonce and I like 2 Chainz.
You like 2 Chainz?
But I don't know if I love the album.
Love the album.
But I think, what he's done over the last year and a half to 2 years. Right, exactly. Yeah. It gets, once again, the refinement, the development, the growth as an artist.
Right.
You got to respect the game. CeeLo. I got to throw a 4th one in there. Throw CeeLo in there.
CeeLo. Now for artists that don't understand this, can you explain to them what exactly is a 360 deal? A lot of people ask me that. I'm like, what's a 360 deal? What is that?
It just means the label's totally involved with you, from management to your production to your touring to your regular label responsibilities that a label would normally do. So they're also involved with touring and management.
Touring and management, like
basically everything 360, 360. They're involved in every aspect of your career.
Okay.
Which is not necessarily a bad thing.
Okay. So it's kind of like they can tap into their club money too.
Yeah, but it makes sense. You're not making as much money on record sales.
Right. So
at the end of the day, it's a business, and the only way a business works is really a win-win for everybody. Nobody's going to want to spend millions of dollars to help you get rich, and they don't make any money.
Right.
So your deal has to be structured in a way where you should be fairly compensated, but so should your record label.
Okay. What's the base deal that an artist may get right now?
You know what? I don't really know, because that aspect I don't work in. I'm more on the after the fact part. I know the basics of the deals, but I don't know like what a basic deal. I don't know if there's a certain thing at this point.
Well, I know the big thing was that people getting 360 deals. I didn't know if it was you come in with the single, then after that is one album and you out.
I'm not really sure right now, because I don't deal with that particular aspect.
Okay. Butch, man.
All right. Hey, thanks for
Epic
having me.
Records, man. Thank you. J Blaze TV.